welcome to this latest edition of Wicomico Public School Showcase. I'm Paul Butler. Tell you what, this has been a great start to the school year. We've got a lot of stories and events to talk about from the past few weeks in Wicomico Public Schools.
That's right, Paul. I'm Tracy Saylor, and we're going to take you back to just before the start of the school year and join 3 of our schools on outreach visits into the community.
And of course, then it was that time, the first day of school. And for the first time in years, Wicomico Public School students had a few extra days this summer as they did not return to class until after Labor Day. Well, it was an extra special day for many of the students as they were visited by Superintendent Dr. Donna Hanlon and new Assistant Superintendent Rick Briggs. Here's a look back at that first day, and then we're going to have a special guest join us here on Wicomico Public Schools Showcase.
Yeah, because it's going to be a beautiful day today.
And what a beautiful day it was. And how about the first day of school being greeted at your bus stop by Superintendent Dr. Donna Hanlon?
Meeting the parent of a child who was going to school for the first time was, you could tell that she had some nerves, was a little apprehensive about her child going off to school for the first time, but the child got on the bus easily and we rode together to school.
Well, good morning. A lot of faces I see returning, and I see a lot of new faces. My name is Mr. Moore.
Everybody excited?
You can call me Mr. Keith or you can call me Mr. Moore. As long as you call me Mr.
First stop was Prince Street Elementary Schools. A lot of smiles, hugs, even some tears on this first day of the 2017-18 school year in Wicomico County as we tagged along with Dr. Donna Hanlon and new Assistant Superintendent and Chief Academic Officer, Mr. Rick Briggs. There was certainly a lot going on at Prince Street on this Tuesday morning, which is also for the first time offering full-time pre-K.
Welcome to Pemberton! Right.
It seemed wherever she went on this first day, Dr. Hanlon got quite the welcome, especially here at Pemberton.
I was greeted by the Pemberton Panda and a few 5th graders and a few, I believe, 2nd graders. Gave me a warm welcome and then went with us around the school to visit different areas of the school building, so that was great.
It was a big first day for new Assistant Superintendent and Chief Academic Officer Rick Briggs. He made the rounds as well to a number of schools and even made a number of students' first day, certainly a memorable one, at Willards Elementary.
They were super attentive to their teacher. She was reviewing some of those rules and routines which we'd like to establish early on, and I saw one young man had his birthday hat on, so I had to high-five him because it was his birthday. Right. But some of the other kids kind of felt a little left out, so I needed to make sure I gave them all a little love, and was able to high-five the entire 1st grade classroom down there at Willards. It was awesome.
For 6th and 9th grade students, this first day gives them one day in advance to get used to their surroundings before the entire school body returns.
It's a great opportunity for them to get used to the space, to their teachers, to the resources that are available to them in their schools. So the transition day that we have on the first day of school for 6th graders and 9th graders, I think, really works. I met and got an opportunity to talk to a number of upperclassmen who are happy to be upperclassmen and to be there helping today for that smooth transition for freshmen.
One of the highlights of the day, stopping by the new location of the Choices Academy on Callaway and Brown Streets in Salisbury. This camp is put together for our students in record time as they were ready to start in the 2nd week of September. What a day it was for students at Wicomico County Public Schools getting the 2017-2018 school year off to a great start.
With the energy that I saw from students and parents and teachers and everyone on the first day back.
Well, there's a little bit of nerves. I would say it was mostly excitement. They're in classes ready to learn.
And joining us now to talk about this new school year is Superintendent Dr. Donna C. Hanlon. And Dr. Hanlon, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate having you in the studio. Now, this is your 2nd year as Superintendent of Wicomico County Public Schools. We've chatted about this, but how excited are you about the 2017-18 school year?
I'm extremely excited. Just We had a great first year, did a lot of planning, a lot of talking about vision and steps for progressing in our school system, and now we're really going to get down into the meat of what it is we want to do to excel as a school system. We have amazing students in our school system, and we have a staff that I would put up against any in Maryland. Just the dedication that I see in our school system is incredible. Give you some examples, if I can, of the great things that are happening that the community might not be aware of. We were named as one of the best communities in the country for music education. That's something to be very proud of. We had 4 schools named as green schools last year. We had 6 teams that went on to the global finals in Destination Imagination. Our students are top notch. We had a student who was a National Merit Scholar, being among the top 1% of 1.6 million students. Wow. We had $16 million worth of scholarships raised by our seniors last year going towards college. Thinking about our staff, we have now the largest footprint on the Eastern Shore in terms of our ability to offer online instruction for students, where every classroom in Wicomico County now can support 32 or more laptops for students in terms of instructional purposes. Just great things happening in technology. And our finance department has received over the course of the last few months 3 national awards for fiscal responsibility and budgeting. So I could go on, but great things happening in our school system. I couldn't be more proud of our students and our staff.
Well, it's a good reason to be excited. Now, we all know about your vision points when they come to, trust and transparency, school safety, providing outstanding education to each and every student, and making the school system, or making the community proud of the school system. But let's talk about this year specifically. What are some of your goals for this year?
Well, we've identified 3 specific priority areas that we believe will have the greatest impact on advancing those vision points that you've spoken about. The first one has to do with the implementation of universal pre-kindergarten. We really believe in the importance of reaching our students as early as we can. We see that in the evidence of the students who do come to us for pre-kindergarten. And their achievement on our assessment that we use, which is the Kindergarten Readiness Assessment. It's used across Maryland. We also know the research shows that students who aren't reading on grade level by 3rd grade are 6 times more likely to drop out of high school. So the importance of reaching students early is critically important, and so we're working on a plan this year to look at how we can implement pre-kindergarten for all of our students full day. It's not going to happen all next year, but in the very near future, we hope to be implementing a plan to make that happen. The second goal is the opposite end of that spectrum, and it has to do with graduation from high school. I'm not satisfied with where we are right now with our graduation rate. Our 4-year adjusted cohort rate is about 82%, and that's just not acceptable. So we're looking at ways to improve that graduation rate, a lot of different strategies, looking at the kinds of programmings, career-related programming that we offer our students, specifically in middle and high school, but a lot more in-depth strategies when it comes to that second goal. And finally, the third goal is to recruit and retain a high-performing workforce. As I indicated, we have a great teaching staff, but we want to make sure that our teachers who come to us, that we recruit, that first we're recruiting, and I believe that we are, but we want to retain them. We want to give them reasons, give them support, encourage them to put down their roots here on the Eastern Shore. So those are the 3 main priority areas that we're going to be very focused upon this year.
Okay. Well, any other projects on the horizon that you'd like to see happen with Wicomico County Public Schools?
Well, I would probably, in addition to the 3 goals, the things that I would talk about in terms of projects on the horizon, first of all, we have facilities projects that we're very excited about. West Salisbury, if the community hasn't driven by lately, is amazing things happening on that property. And the last I checked, we were on budget and on schedule for opening in the fall of 2018 at West Salisbury Elementary School. Our project at Parkside High School is going very smoothly. We've done a feasibility study for our next construction project, which is at Beaver Run, that we're just at the beginning stages, but we're very excited about moving forward there. And then the other thing that I think is critically important as we move forward in our school system is our community partnerships. We have a great partnership with the county council. Their funding, their one-time funding that they provided last year in addition to our budget to help implement our laptop carts or allow us to purchase those laptop carts. But we have an incredible partnership with the City of Salisbury and Mayor Jake Day. I could talk forever about our project on Callaway Street with the Joint Choices Academy as in conjunction with a new community center there on that property. Very, very excited about that partnership. And then the Education Foundation that the Greater Salisbury Committee and the Chamber of Commerce have come together to support our school system, to show the community the importance of public education, but to also provide fiscal support for the community. So those community partnerships are so important in moving our school system forward. So.
Right. Well, it sounds like there is a lot of great things happening in Wicomico County Public Schools. Dr. Donna Hanlon, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Paul.
We really appreciate it. I'm sure we're going to have you back in the future as well.
Great.
So count on that.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, Tracy, now back to you.
Now that we're in the fall season, what better way could there be to spend a Saturday than at school for a carnival? And not just any carnival. We're talking about the second annual Prince Street Elementary Curriculum Carnival. Over 1,000 students and their parents came out to have fun, get a free meal, and learn about math, science, and English outside the classroom. A good and educational time was had by all.
You having fun?
Yeah!
And who wouldn't have fun at a carnival? But this is no ordinary carnival. It was the second annual Prince Street Elementary School Curriculum Carnival.
We really looked at a different way to approach mathematics and reading in a fun and exciting way, something that is, again, non-traditional but innovative. And so we took the idea to our intervention team and then took the idea to our staff, and everyone was just thrilled with the idea, and so many people supported that we said, you know what, let's try it.
From face painting to cornhole to fishing for addition and many other activities.
I make this as yay. Oh!
Prince Street Principal Jason Miller says this was a fun way to address some learning issues within the school.
What we did is we looked at the grade level weaknesses based on our data, and so we took one of the weaknesses in math and reading and made an activity, each grade level did, that the parents and students could participate in here today. And then we also are going to give them a reading and a math activity that was a weakness for our school as well last year in each grade that they can take home with them to practice and work on.
I think the kids are grasping the concept a little better. Now it's more applicable hands-on. So they're taking the numbers from what the cups are, transitioning it to the board, and then it's able to teach them in a fun environment.
Some 1,100 students and parents came out on a beautiful Saturday afternoon to take part in the carnival.
What about you, honey? Blue. There you go.
Something Billy Taylor believes is great, and she and other parents are behind Principal Miller and his staff 100%.
And he thinks it's very important, that I do as well, to reach out to the community and have events like this and bring everybody out and bring them together and show them that, you know, people in the community, we all have the kids' interests at heart and we want the best for the kids.
I think it's a really good thing for them to do. The better that they stay busy, the better they learn, so it's a good thing.
The Prince Street Curriculum Carnival is a community effort. Even elected officials such as Salisbury Mayor Jake Day came out in support.
It's a great day at Prince Street.
Prince Street also got community support from the Salisbury University football team.
They have to find the central idea of
local high school students, and the bounce houses, cotton candy, cooking of the hamburgers and hot dogs were all provided by faith-based partner Allen Memorial Baptist Church.
It's to support our students out here and teachers within the elementary school is what we do. Okay. We're here to serve.
It takes a village to help our families and help our community, and we certainly are thankful to have them with us today. I couldn't have done this without the support of our staff. We truly are a team here.
A great time was had by all,
It's a really good experience.
with some learning along the way. It looks like they had a great time, and Principal Miller tells us that planning is already underway for the next curriculum carnival. Connecting with students, families, and community is important to all of our schools. That's why for 3 Wicomico schools, gearing up for the arrival of students meant going out into the community.
We are actually bringing the school to them, and they have a chance to actually meet their teachers, other support staff, and they also get to reconnect with previous teachers, and that helps to strengthen that relationship, but also any anxiety that may be on children's hearts, that also helps to soften that, and they get to see that we truly care about them and that we want to be a part of their family as they are a part of our family.
Meanwhile, the staff of Fruitland Intermediate School made 3 stops in its communities. At the Allen Community Hall, Emmanuel Wesleyan Church Fruitland campus, and here at the Fruitland Community Center. Not even a downpour could dampen their enthusiasm for meeting with students and parents before the first day of school.
You know, one of the things we know is Wicomico County Public Schools has had so many graduates that have gone on to do amazing things here at home and around the country. We've also had a few making a difference in other parts of the world. Now, one such Wicomico High graduate, also a former teacher with Wicomico Public Schools, is Salisbury's own Kendra Gaskins, who is influencing young lives on the other side of the world.
We want to see just what she's been doing since she left Salisbury. Amen?
Wicomico High School grad Kendra Gaskins was back in Salisbury recently. Gaskins spoke to the congregation at her family's church, Wesley Temple United Methodist in Salisbury.
So today I'm going to talk about how I ended up teaching in Qatar in the Middle East, coming from the Eastern Shore, graduate of Y High, the events that led me to getting the job and the things that I've done since I've been there.
Now, teaching in Qatar has truly allowed Kendra to see other cultures, but also influence children halfway around the world.
GEMS is a special place, especially GEMS American Academy in Qatar is a special place. It's a unique place in that there's children from literally every walks of life here. I teach an American curriculum, so I teach everything. I started out teaching what we in the States would call here is pre-K 3, which I thought was pre-kindergarten 4 when I got there. So I've kept the same kids. This will be my 3rd year with them. So I'll be having them in kindergarten this year. We teach English language arts, mathematics, social studies, science, all the subject areas. So far, it's been a wonderful experience. I've been teaching there for 2 years. I'm going into my 3rd year here in September. I'm teaching students from literally all over the world, Europe, Asia, the Middle East, even the Americas. So it's been a wonderful experience, you know, just to get a glimpse at how other people live, how they think, their customs and things like that. So it's been a great opportunity to see those things and to actually meet and greet with people, and that's been a really intriguing part of this whole event.
And sharing her story back here in Wicomico County has truly been special.
You know, that's just my goal in life, is to make the people who have helped me, including my church family, my biological family, my friends, make them proud, and to give people something to talk about.
Now, I asked Kendra if she has any plans of coming back to teach in the States. She said probably one day, but for now her heart and love of teaching is along the shorelines of the Persian Gulf and those beaches and dunes in Qatar.
Dr. Hanlon mentioned the great progress on the West Salisbury Elementary School project, and we know there are a lot of students, parents, and staff members who can't wait for the reopening of West Salisbury Elementary on West Road. The original school building opened in 1964, and with no air conditioning and constant costly repairs, it was time for a new West Salisbury. Construction is well underway on the new school, which will be twice as big. Yet a lot of people are wondering how things are going. Well, here's an update on the construction of the new West Salisbury Elementary.
Wondering how things are going on construction of the new West Salisbury Elementary?
So far, it's going very well.
In mid-August, Wicomico County Public Schools Director of Planning and Construction, Liesl Ashby, gave us a tour. And let's just say, this school is going to be a crown jewel for the West Salisbury community.
It's been a long-awaited project within this community, and I think everyone is pleased that it is underway and they're starting to see a lot of progress come together.
The replacement of the old West Salisbury Elementary was desperately needed. Built in 1964, the old school had no air conditioning and repairs were becoming costly. Now, the new $28 million school on West Road goes from 30,000 square feet to 61,000 square feet. It will be energy efficient using geothermal.
They now have a separate cafeteria and gymnasium. They're back-to-back though, so that they can open them up and use them as a larger space. So they no longer are using one multi-purpose room for all of those functions.
And it's got a first-class media center, ultra-modern classrooms, and expanded offices for administration.
They have adequately sized classrooms with interactive whiteboard technology. They have collaborative spaces for special education as well as our ELL population. So they're no longer relying on the portables that were in the back of the building for some of those intervention spaces.
They also have a dedicated space for their food bank, which is very important to the surrounding community. With construction on schedule, West Salisbury Elementary should reopen next school year.
We look forward to having the administration move in sometime in June of 2018 so that we can then welcome the students in the start of the 18-19 school year.
Well, back on September 11th, there were tears of appreciation in many eyes as JROTC students at Wicomico High School and 5th graders at North Salisbury Elementary helped others mark the anniversary of 9/11, Patriot Day, and the National Day of Service and Remembrance. Join us for a few moments of these very respectful ceremonies.
North Salisbury students and staff, this year for a school-wide service project, we would like to help the victims of Hurricane Harvey and Irma. Just think, many families have no homes to return to. The mementos of who they are gone. They've lost pets, and yes, some have lost their loved ones.
The reason they're not up in the showcase yet is because I wanted to give them some time to do them.
So they did these little artist trading cards. On the back they wrote what it means to be an American to them. And our plan is to put them in the showcase for a few weeks and then send them to the troops. Hopefully with a few letters and a few positive words of encouragement from the kids. Oh, I think they did an amazing job. I'm really proud. My favorite part is what's written on the back. They're very thoughtful. The students did a great job. They all turned them in on time, so I'm very proud of them.
At Wicomico Middle School, students worked with English language arts teacher Erica Taylor and professional development coach Carmen Molnar on a special 9/11 reading activity. The teachers guided 8th graders through a QR code station rotation on iPads to help students learn about the events of 9/11. Remember the giving effort for the WBOC Bless Our Children campaign that North Salisbury launched at the end of its Patriot Day program? We went back to North Salisbury 2.5 weeks later to see how it turned out.
On behalf of the students at North Salisbury, we would like to present you with a check of $1,100.
Ooh, wow.
Everybody. North Salisbury Principal Dr. Renee Hall and Assistant Principal Marie Baker had promised they'd take a pie in the face if students filled the water jug with donations. They filled it twice.
It was supposed to be a pie in the face for $500.
No, I only agreed to one pie.
Wow! How many of you think we should do 2 pies? us like $500. You guys just every single morning. And I said, I wish we had a live cam because if people could have heard your conversations that you had in the morning about how to spend the money and how it was going to help other kids. I mean, that jug is filled with kindness and love and caring, and you truly make us proud here at North Salisbury. Yes.
Now we go out to wonderful Willards Elementary, where they're growing more than just great learners. They're growing their own vegetables in a school garden, and the students are digging right in to help.
What were some of the things we had to do first to get the garden going? What did we do?
We had to dig holes.
Yeah, we had to dig holes for each plant.
We had to put seeds in the holes.
Mm-hmm. What else did we do?
We had to water.
What did you come and help during the summer sometimes?
It's all the way in the
You
middle.
picked the vegetables and
The weeds.
you picked the weeds. What were some of the things you got to pick this summer to take home with you? Some of the vegetables.
Squash.
The squash also.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Radishes.
Radishes.
Baby tomatoes.
Yeah, the little cherry tomatoes, the little ones. We had some cucumbers, we had some onions.
Last year, we were applying to be a green school for Maryland, and we are now a certified green school, and that was part of the process as well, exposing them to some different environmental lessons and healthy choices and things like that. So as we did some arts integrated lessons with all of our special area teachers, and all the classes throughout the school worked on the Going Green theme last year. So it was a perfect tie-in and timing for us to be able to start a garden. Everybody was able to come out and plant some of the vegetables in the spring before we left for the summer. And it was cool to see how every reaction was a little bit different as the older kids understood a little bit more, you know, of the spacing and where we should put everything and how they grow, and still to see everybody get those vegetables and be able to take those home. We had wanted to start a garden for a long time, since one of our themes is Spring on the Farm, and the kindergarten team and a few of the other teachers had talked for a while about how we start some seeds, but then they don't normally get to see the whole process continue. And we really wanted the families to be able to come in and get a lot of those vegetables and take those home with their kids as well. So it's not just here at school, they have that connection too. And we were lucky enough to get the funding to start the garden last year, and then now to see the families coming over the summer, posting their pictures on our Willards Facebook page so that we can see what's right and what they're taking home, and just to see them try some things that they wouldn't have tried before or hadn't seen grow before, that now they have the opportunity.
I like to go out there and pick them and plant them because it's fun how to watch them grow and to eat them because they're so yummy and they'll help. When my mama and papa and my mommy, when we went out there, we first looked at the garden and then we saw a fully grown, either a green squash or it was either a squash or a cucumber. Tomatoes, some green peppers, some purple peppers, and we got some radishes and some squash. I helped water it, and I picked some tomatoes and some peppers and some cucumbers.
What has been your favorite thing to pick or to eat?
Probably the carrots.
What do you like about carrots?
They're good and they're healthy. I did it with my grandma. She really liked the garden. She almost ate everything. She took some tomatoes and put it on the window because she took some green tomatoes and she put it in the windows for the sun to get to them to turn red.
I think for them to be able to see how the vegetables grow, that they aren't just on the shelf of the grocery store, to see that whole process and what they need in order to take care of a garden so that they can hopefully make those choices as they get older and make those healthy choices of having their own vegetables, picking some different things that they've never tried. We've been putting some more pictures out there for families to remember to come pick, and also putting some in the office as they come sign in or sign out their children so that whatever's already ripe is right there that they can go ahead and take home with them. We've picked some and taken some in for snacks so they can try whatever is out there. And we just went out and planted some fall vegetables that we're hoping will be ripe before the frost. And then we'll start to get everything ready for the spring again.
Well, that does it for our show today. Now, next time on Wicomico Public School Showcase, we're going to take you to the new home of the Choices Academy. And we're also going to share some ideas about making the most of your visit during American Education Week.
We're going to bring you some highlights from recognition for James M. Bennett High School's 3 state championship football teams from the early 80s. And that's going to be a very special weekend that will also include a memorial service for a fallen teammate, Wardell Turner, who was killed while serving in Afghanistan.
Should be a special time. Well, it's all here on Pack 14, where you'll find all kinds of news about what's happening in our community. See you next time.